We got our home screen. That's all the tiles that you see right here. We can browse and choose whatever streaming service and app that we want. Hey everyone, today in this video, I'm going to be checking out the Roku Streaming Stick 4K. If you're interested in this product and want to find out more about it, the link to it will be in the video description. Here's a look at the retail box and packaging. Everything looks nice. So this is a 4K streaming stick for your television with a nice slim built-in design that hides behind your TV. Just plug it into your HDMI port and you're all set and ready to go. This also features a voice remote with built-in TV controls. We have Dolby Vision and we also have long-range Wi-Fi. Now let's go ahead, let's open it up and look at the contents. Here are all the contents. First up, we have our product literature featuring Roku stickers, safety and compliance information, and a quick start guide. This guide walks us through what's included, how to set up and install the stick, and how you want to power it, whether it's using a USB brick that's provided or a USB port on your TV. On the back, we have some tips and tricks for better Wi-Fi performance and common questions. Next, we have the included Roku power brick. Plugs right into the wall, USB plug on the other side. We have our micro USB to USB cable right here. This is pretty cool. We even have the Roku branding on it. 2 Duracell AAA batteries, name brand, they didn't skimp on that. We have our remote control. If you've never used a Roku device before, these are one of my favorite remotes of all time. They're just so simple, easy to use, great for navigation. Volume buttons are on the side right here with our mute. We have 4 streaming app buttons on the bottom: Netflix, Apple TV, Disney Plus, and Paramount. Pop off the back cover to install the 2 AAA batteries. And lastly, we have the stick itself. Look at this, Roku's logo and branding. It is about the size of an index finger. That is amazing. So really slim design, not going to be in the way or block anything. HDMI plug on one end, nothing on the other. Just Roku's branding. And then you can see we have our micro USB port for power right there. Pretty cool stuff. Now let's go ahead, let's get this set up. So I have everything set up. We're using this BenQ computer monitor to showcase everything. You could connect this to a TV, whether it's a smart or dumb TV already. Doesn't matter. Whatever HDMI device you connect it to, this is going to be the screen you're going to be at. So make sure you have the batteries in your remote control so they can communicate with each other. You might see a little prompt up here saying pair your remote. Just put the batteries in and you should be able just to press the OK button and everything will work. But this is your main start screen. Let's go ahead. Let's choose our language. English. Now it's going to scan for our wireless network and we're going to get that connected as well. So we have multiple networks to choose from. So go ahead, select your network. Doesn't matter if it's 5 gig or 2.4 gigahertz, just choose whatever one has the best strength near your screen and continue on. With our network connection established, this is the next screen that we're at where we have an update available. So let this run its course. Go ahead, install the update so you can get the latest and greatest experience from your Roku device. The update took less than a minute. It was really quick. Next, we're walking through display settings right here so we can choose, depending on the display that we're connected to, what option we want. We can even do auto detect. So I know this monitor is 1080p, but again, this particular stick supports up to 4K. They have multiple versions available. Get whatever one matches the resolution of your TV, or maybe you're planning on upgrading both. Just make sure that you get the right one. If you do have a 4K device, it makes sense to actually take advantage of that resolution. So make sure you're getting the 4K stick. In our case, we're going to change it to 1080p. So let's go ahead, let's select OK. And now we have this up here. So yes, screen looks good. No, I'll choose a different setting. In our case, the screen looks good. Now we have our control settings right here for our remote. So we can check the remote settings. Confirm you want to set up this way. We want that. Continue. Is music playing? Yes, music's playing. Unable to detect TV info. So we can enter a brand. So what's cool about this, if you want to be able to control your TV with this remote, you're able to do that. In this case, since this is a computer monitor, we don't have that luxury. So we'll set up the remote later once we actually would plug it in to a TV, but you'll want to do that at that stage. Next, we have to activate our Roku player. So enter your email address to get a Roku activation link and start streaming. This is free. This doesn't cost anything. Don't fall for any scams out there. You do not need to pay to set up or activate your Roku device. So go ahead, enter your email address, activate your player, and you're all set and ready to go. All right, so we went ahead, we confirmed our account and email. There's probably about 7 or 8 different pages you can click through if you want to. Go ahead and add your favorite streaming apps and services right there during this stage of the setup. You can do that. I also want to point out one of the second or first screens you're going to see is an option to enter payment information, but that's if you want to save a credit card on your Roku device to order or rent any movies, TV, things like that. But it's optional. You don't have to do it. So just keep that in mind. And again, there's other things on there if you want to sign up for additional services, if you want to check out free TVs, movies, share your interests, things like that, you can. Or you can just blow through it all by scrolling to the bottom and hitting continue every time. It's really up to you. There's also a Roku app you can download for iOS and Android devices. In our case, though, we are all done. Let's go into our TV right here. So it looks like it's already starting to load for us. We're going to have a nice little introduction video here that walks through using the remote, all of that good stuff. I'm going to skip that video because I'll give you guys a nice rundown here. But here's all the apps that I chose during the initial setup process. So yours could look completely different depending on what you're after. So we have a lot of Roku apps here. This is all tied to my own account, but this is your main screen. This is really the bread and butter of Roku, in my opinion. It's so easy to navigate with their tile interface. Anybody can do it. The remote control's easy, very responsive. What you see really is what you get. So first up on the left-hand side, we got our home screen. That's all the tiles that you see right here. We can browse and choose whatever streaming service and app that we want. Again, you'll have to have subscriptions to these, so just keep that in mind. Some apps are free, right? You could use like the Roku channel. We can go into that right here. There's a lot of free content you can browse, watch, and stream. Really a nice app. So definitely make sure that you're downloading this one. There's also a live TV channel guide, which is pretty cool. So you get the idea here. We got some live content, some videos, TV shows, recommendations. Really just depends what you're after. And again, this app is free, right? If you want Netflix, you're gonna have to pay for Netflix, that sort of thing. Next up, what to watch. So again, TVs, movies, and more. You can browse that way. Featured free content. So check out some of the free TV. There's a lot of free stuff you can look at. A lot of it's going to be on the Roku channel. So you get the idea here. Live TV, right? Do you want to download some live TV apps or watch some live TV? Seeing a theme here, right? You can search for content. Maybe there's, a movie you want to watch or see if it's available, like Top Gun, The Voice. So you can search right there. Here's a movie store. So if you want to purchase movies, you can do that right from your TV. There's a TV store. Same thing. You get the idea. Our streaming channels, right? So we can go set up additional streaming channels. This is the channel store where we can browse by featured, new and updated, recommended, our top free movies and TV. Search for channels. Maybe you want to download Hulu, Spotify. You get the idea. You can find it all right here. Tons of different subcategories. They make things really easy. Then we have our own feed. So we can browse different things here from our own feed. And then we have our settings where we can view all of our device settings right here. So very easy to navigate and find exactly what you're looking for. The best way to describe Roku overall is it's basically iOS. It's the Apple equivalent, so to speak, of simplicity for your TV. In the settings section, pay special attention to our Apple AirPlay and HomeKit. So if you guys are iOS users, you'll be able to stream from your Apple devices and control content with Apple AirPlay and HomeKit. You will just need to select this. You'll be redirected to be able to enable AirPlay right here. So watch as it loads. We're not going to go through the complete setup. You'll be able to do it on your own. But here are the settings so we can get everything properly set up to cast and stream to our Roku streaming stick. I can't stress enough how easy everything is to use. So let's go ahead. Let's download a channel in real time. So let's just choose a streaming channel. Let's come over here. We'll just download Pluto TV. So we're going to select it. We're going to add the channel. This is it. It's downloading the channel right now for us. Ta-da! It's been added. We can go to the channel. So let's go to it. Let's pull it up right here. It'll just take a second to load. Pretty fast and responsive as well. So we have it up right here. No big deal. And let's go back home. So say we're done with that channel for whatever reason. Let's pull it up right here. There it is. We can press the settings icon right here. And this is going to bring up all of our different options. We can move it. Say we want to rotate and rearrange the tiles on our screen. We can do that. In this case, we're going to remove the channel. And it's very quick. So really simple to add channels, remove channels. You can rearrange them. That's really what Roku offers you, is that simplicity and ease of use. So I'm mixing it up. We have swapped out our monitor for an actual TV. This is a 24-inch Insignia Fire TV. I wanted to show you a key setting here. This will vary depending on your television, so make sure you configure your settings properly. In our case, go to Display and Sounds in your Fire TV. And we need to make sure we turn on HDMI CEC device control. That's going to allow us to then be able to use this remote control to turn our TV on and off. Again, we're not using the Insignia remote. So watch what happens. We're going to power it back on right here. And now we can press basically a non-TV button. And it should take us to our HDMI 1 input. That's going to bring up our Roku. And now we can start using it. So we do get one remote control for both devices, so to speak, with basic functionality, right? Volume up or down, mute, power on or off, but that's all you need because everything else is now done within this input setting. So we have all of our great Roku features. Now let's talk about the voice remote. We can hold down the mic button on here and we can do a couple of different things with just our voice. We can launch our favorite channels. So let's try that. Launch Netflix. It's processing it, and there we go. It is now opening up the Netflix app for us. Pretty cool. We can also use it as voice search. Find Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. So it's going to process that, and it's searching. And look at that. It pulled it up right there for us. And we can also use it to issue playback commands if you want to stop, play, fast forward, rewind, that sort of thing. But I did find it interesting that there's no direct volume support or control, so I can't tell it to set the volume to 100 or 20 or 25 or turn it up or down or anything like that. So I hope in the future they continue to refine that and build it out so we're able to use this to adjust the volume. So Roku is still my top choice if you're looking for a streaming stick or you're buying a TV new and you want to know which TV you should get with what operating system built in. Roku is the way to go. Now I will say if you're deep into the Amazon ecosystem, you should look into a Fire TV, but I will tell you they are more cluttered, so outweigh maybe the user experience versus the practicality of having that tighter and direct integration. Same can be said with Apple TV as well. I really have a hard time navigating Apple TVs for some reason. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but you can't beat the simplicity of this Roku device, whether it's a standalone stick or directly integrated into the TV system. And you'll really appreciate having this simple remote control. I don't know, again, simplicity is really where Roku thrives. Very easy to use and navigate.